like, why didn't you go to the bathroom? I was like, because I was kicking their ass, Dad. And he was like, but don't pee your pants. And I was like, but I didn't want to lose my place. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Out of Sync Gaming Podcast, the show where we talk about the games we want to whenever they came out, because that's what we're playing. We'll talk old stuff, we'll talk new stuff, we'll talk everything in between. I am your host, WckdGmrUK Alan, but on this episode, you can call me Putt Putt Golf because that was my favorite arcade place to go to when I was a kid. And as always, I'm joined by the most amazing co-host in the world, Mike Malldee, a.k.a. the Quarter Machine, because he's got all the coin.
Ooh.
How you doing, Mike?
Got all that money.
Mm-hmm.
Doing good. How are you? I'm excited for today's episode.
Yeah, me too. I'm doing
Trip
good.
down
I'm
nostalgia
doing good.
lane.
It is. Yeah, when you said you wanted to talk about arcades, I was like, oh, yes. And my mind just went fully into its mind palace of like all the great thoughts about the arcades. Yeah. I loved the arcades so much. I loved it.
It was a great escape.
Mm-hmm. It was. And I think it was like one of those, I feel really lucky in the time frame that we grew up, right? Because it was still like the place to go, right? Like it was the place to hang out. It was the place to be. They were actually in their like golden era, I think. You know,
games were getting better.
Yeah.
Like arcade games were getting better. And
For
then
sure.
You still had the classics, of course.
Yeah. All of those. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I did like that time though, when like in that sort of like late 90s, early 2000s, when they still had like the sad 1980s arcades in the corner that nobody would go play.
Everybody was all about the Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. So good. Yeah, so good. Yeah, so tell the listeners, Mike, what are we going to talk about on this episode?
Well, we're just going to go down, like I said, go back down memory lane and talk about what arcade games we loved, a lot of times that's our first intro into gaming and to begin with. And then, just going to talk about our favorite games, I think. What else? What do you want to talk about?
That's all. That was it. Yeah. Just talking about arcades. What we went to the arcade for, our favorite games, and just any memories that pop up. So if you're old like us, you're going to love this episode. But wait, hold on a minute. That's not true, because I think arcades are actually making a comeback. I've seen more and more like of them, some of them ironically, back like a novelty idea. But I can't remember what podcast I was listening to recently, but I think it was Game Scoop on IGN, and one of the Sam Claiborne, one of the hosts on that, was talking about that was at a mall in San Francisco where he's based, and he was just talking about like downstairs they had this whole thing. It was like going to the arcade. They had all the machines set up, and it was busy, and people were like playing games and doing all that kind of good stuff. So maybe what is old is new again kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm there for it. I like the barcades. Those are really fun.
Yeah.
Especially when it's all free. I just remember growing up and never having the money that I needed to have a good time at the arcade. There was times where it was like, every game's a quarter. That was like on Tuesdays, random day or something. That was a slow day for them. But I just remember like begging my parents, like, can I please have another $1? I just want to play. And he's like, how much is that game? I was like, it's like $1.50. What? Like, maybe not that much of the time. But yeah, there are some times I went recently, not long ago to, oh gosh, what is it called? I don't even remember. The adult arcade place, we order beer and pizza.
like an adult Chuck E. Cheese or whatever?
Yes, the adult Chuck E. Cheese. I can't even think of what it's called now. I haven't been in so long. I've been okay. So I was there recently, and by recently I mean like last year. So
right. Okay.
Golly. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I went there, and some of these games were like $2 to play for one round. I'm like, I don't know about all this.
It is. Yeah, it is. If you think arcades, like, because I remember going to, I don't remember my first one, but like, so I grew up in the 80s and kind of really had my formative years in the 90s, right? But I definitely remember as a kid arcade machines kind of always being around when I started to 6 and 7 years old, 8 years old. I always remembered seeing them places and being drawn to them of they all the flashy graphics and seeing people crowd around them and being really curious about what they were. So you know, I feel really lucky having been having grew up in the time that I did, where video games were just kind of like that perfect crescendo into the arcade being the best place to hang out, and where all the cool games were, and then that transitioning into the home consoles and all that kind of good stuff. So I don't know if I can I don't know if I can remember the very first game I ever played, but I'm sure it would have been something like a Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man or Q*bert or something. Do you remember Q*bert? The
I
one
don't remember that one.
So Q*bert was the one that's he's this weird little alien looking guy with a snout, and it's got a thing almost like a pyramid you have to jump up as it starts. Really, there's a lot of spaces on the bottom and it gets smaller and smaller, like a triangle as you go up.
I don't know
But
if
it's
I've ever
trying to be
played
a little
this.
three-dimensional, and you have to jump from one square to another while the enemies are trying to get to you, but you have to try to make it to the top. But I just remember that one being really interesting because the graphics were so cool, and obviously Donkey Kong, right? So I think all
Yeah,
those
I
kind of
remember that.
80s games like Space Invaders and Galaga and
Galaga, yeah.
Galaxia and stuff, those were there, but they didn't really. I played them just because it was something to kind of
Sometimes it was the
grab the machines or whatever.
only
Yeah.
one in the corner of some random place you were at. And you're like, oh, there's an arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Let me play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, by the way,
Yeah.
the place I was thinking of is Dave and Buster's.
Oh, Dave and Buster.
I couldn't remember. I've been in the UK too long now.
You have. Listen, you can't even remember American stuff anymore.
I know. So yeah.
But on that point, arcades
expensive.
actually. Oh, Dave and Buster's, so expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, this.
You can buy a pass. It's $50 to play for the whole night or something. I don't know. It's I'm sure there's a deal like that, but still, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. But it just doesn't hit the same, right? Because I like the idea that there's it's social, right? You go out with people, you're having some drinks, you're trying to play some games, but maybe it's just because we're older and we've had different life experiences. But I've been to Dave and Buster's with the family when I was there a few years ago, and I just didn't get the same rush of spending, what was it, $3 a play of the Mario Kart arcade that they have or whatever. I was like, this just doesn't feel fun. It was definitely very different when you would just throw a quarter in the machine and you have a good time.
I know, it was just it was completely different feeling. Christmas to me doesn't feel the same as it did when I was a child. So
oh yeah,
going to the arcade, I don't know, maybe going to an actual arcade might feel, I haven't done it in a while. So I don't know, but nothing will replace that feeling of your dad's we're going to putt-putt. I'm like, yes. They're going. And of course, when I was younger, so when you said my very first experience with an arcade game was probably at some Pizza Hut, or in California it was Mojo's, I think, or not Mojo's, some chain pizza place in California when I was little. Yeah. But there had the games, but there was a special game that I loved, and you didn't really play. You put money in, and you got to watch Mighty Mouse on screen for 3-minute quick episode of Mighty Mouse, and you got to choose things, but then it would just play Mighty Mouse, and you were in a dark little room. It was you felt like you were in, the Jurassic Park game. You get in and you sit in the Jeep. Yeah. And it's all it's enclosed so nobody can see you. So it felt like that, but all it was a Mighty Mouse TV. And I was 3 or 4. And I was
you know what?
And it was so amazing. I feel
I remember this a little bit.
You just put quarters in, you get to see a snippet of an episode of Mighty Mouse. It was so cool.
I don't know if I'm making this up in my head because you're telling me the story, but I feel like I remember something like this, right? Yes,
and it wasn't just Mighty Mouse.
And it was the getting in the little capsule that I remember.
Yes. It wasn't just Mighty Mouse. I mean, they might have had other cartoons from the time, but I just remembered that was my first arcade experience. And then
funny.
Yeah, and then if you keep going further, I went to the arcade and I collected tickets because I was I'm too young to play these games. I'm not good. All these other people are going to beat me. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do what I'm good at. I'm good at taking the skee ball, climbing up the thing and dropping it right in the center.
You proper
to
cheater.
get
I love that.
Most tickets I could. And I said, this is what I'm good at. I am a tiny child and nobody's going to care. And
did you have like friends that would do the lookout? You'd be like, go, go, go. Nobody's here. You're not going to get in trouble. Yeah.
So this is what I would do at the arcade.
Wait, one more thing on Skee-Ball. Did you figure out that actually there was like a little lever or thingy in the thing and you would just go put your finger in and do that to get it? Like, yes. Come on, Skee-Ball cheat. I love it. That's so funny.
So yeah, we were bad. Like we would because they would, when they started going to weighing your tickets instead of shredding them, like the counter, because there was a point where they would weigh it, and then it went into the counter where you had to get the counter and get the receipt, where y'all went high tech on us.
Oh, I see.
The weighing part was the best. So I would take like the middle part of stack of my tickets and dip that in water, get that wet so it's heavy, so I can get more tickets because I want more Chinese finger things.
My days, Mike. You were totally like
I was horrible.
Wheeler and dealer for like shitty arcade prizes.
For shitty arcade prizes.
Yeah.
I was never going to get the 500,000 tickets to get the PS2 or whatever they had up there.
I was just going to say, the ticket economy was such bullshit. That was like, they had, and it was like so enticing as a kid because it was all be really well lit up. And like, yeah, as you said, they would have like the Super Nintendo.
Always had a lava lamp going on.
A lava lamp was there.
It looked so cool.
Yes. What else would they have? Oh my gosh.
There was, animals.
I remember there being a boom. It wasn't called a boombox as a kid, but like a CD, like a stereo system with a CD player and a cassette that you could get as well.
Yes. And it was always like this like crazy color. You're like, ooh, like that,
Or they would have like Dallas Cowboy or Texas Ranger paraphernalia or something for all the sports teams.
Or assigned thing in like a frame of like a sports person. I was like, that's stupid. And
but of the tickets, you've got me on the ticket things now for a minute, Mike. So of the ticket places, I feel like Putt Putt had the best stuff. Chuck E. Cheese's was fucking bullshit. It was horrible. Yeah, they really needed to up their ticket game because it would all be like, is it really bad? I haven't been in a. I
went to a birthday party. I went to a birthday party, and they still serve beer at the one I went to. I went to a birthday party, and I was looking at the stuff, and I was like, "What am I going to do with any of this?" So those little animals you would put on your fingers, and they're like, I was like, okay.
They were like little aliens.
Yeah, and not that I was going to buy anything with the tickets, but like I was there for a child's birthday party. I'm like, well, I was like, they're not living in the right time. This is not a good time to be a kid at Chuck E. Cheese. Because at least they had the Chinese finger pull traps when I was young. Now they don't even have those because I guess
you can't do that. You get your finger stuck and they'll have to cut it out or whatever. Yeah. And I reckon those little alien finger puppets are the ones that are still there that nobody is buying. So they are probably still from the 90s, Mike. I'm not kidding you. Or you would get if you would had only 5 tickets or whatever, you'd have to get like a pencil topper, like an eraser or something like that, or like a really shitty
one of those
yo-yo
G.I. Joe action figures, army action things.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I have a vague memory of doing really well. Like I think I was probably doing the Skee-Ball, the cheat or whatever, or something like that, and getting something Ninja Turtle based because the Ninja Turtles were really big at the time. Yeah, it was really good, and they were my favorite. But I think it was like a coin can, like that, where you would like a piggy bank, but like shaped
I remember
cylinder,
piggy bank kind of things.
Yeah,
it was always like the one I wanted to get, so I would save my tickets forever.
Yeah,
I ended up getting a kite.
Would you wait? So if you went like for one trip, because I would get to go like maybe a couple times a month and like go with my parents would just drop me off with my friends when we were like 12 or whatever and just let us run around for the day. But like, were you but it was 100% a babysitter. And I tell you what, they were like, the rule was, here's your $30. That's going to be food. And if you want to put video games, when you run out of money, you run out of money. Do not call me for more and do not get in trouble, because if I have to come get you early, then you're in big trouble. And I think I know what was going on at that time.
Ooh. I did it, but now I do.
Whatever, parents just wanted kids out of the house and they just wanted to chill out without us running around. But would you literally save all your tickets?
So and then, there was a point where you couldn't get like you had to keep your tickets physically. And so I
Mm-hmm.
would have like a Tom Thumb brown paper grocery bag,
No
and it would
way.
all live in there every time, and I would get them all stacked up perfectly, and then we would go, and then because I remember my putt putt, and we probably went to the same putt putt actually because we grew up in the same area, the one by the Parks
Yeah,
Mall in
Pioneer
Arlington.
Parkway. I think it was
Yeah.
off Pioneer
Oh,
Parkway.
is there another one over there?
No, 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 no. It wasn't
It was
Pioneer.
off I-20
Yeah,
in
I know, but I can't.
Texas,
And it was
near
yeah,
the
I
Best
remember.
Buy. Near the
Yes,
Best
just like a
Buy.
bit further down from the Best
Yes.
Buy. Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh, yeah.
anyway, so they would they had kites all up there, and I wanted, and they were like on
Oh
display, like box
yeah,
kites and stuff. And I was like, I
that's
want one of those
right.
kites because they were like different. They weren't like normal kites, and they weren't
Hmm.
cheap either. They looked like good quality, like material kites. And so I
Yeah.
saved up and I got a kite, and it was cheap. And it broke. So,
Oh
but I mean,
no.
it was good. It was looked like it was good quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did get a kite eventually, and that was one of my prized possessions, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, so anyways,
So cool. Loved it.
then
I
I
love the
grew up a
Tekken
little
game.
older, like, 13, 14, going to the arcade, and that's when you really had fun because
Mm.
we go to like 50 cent or to a quarter nights or whatever, and that's when I really got into playing, video games. Like, oh.
Right. Okay.
So whereas like I don't care
Ah.
about the tickets anymore. So
Yeah. Exactly. Do you remember? Do you remember? So I really loved fighting games when I was growing
mhm.
up, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and all that. Do you remember the system of putting the quarter on the machine to know that you were
Yes.
next? Do you
Yes.
like what a cool
Yeah. And then
like
eventually
who thought of
they put
that?
like the little slots in there like they do on pool
Yeah,
tables. So, but
yeah,
that
that's
wasn't
so
there
cool.
before.
No, it wasn't. And
Yeah.
so like for the listeners out there who don't know what we're talking about, like if like let's say Street Fighter 2 is really popular, right?
Mhm.
Or whatever. And there would be like lines of people like wanting to play the game. And where the screen is, because there's like a glass screen over the TV, there's just like a tiny little nudge or a tiny little ledge that's so, imperceivable, but it was just about the width of a quarter, and it would sit at the bottom of the screen right above the control, the joysticks and stuff, and you would know you were next in line. You'd come up and put your quarter on the machine so that people knew that you wanted to jump in there and play. And for
Yeah.
some
So
reason,
whoever
like
lost
we
can.
yeah, but we knew, like, even if there were 7 quarters lined up, we still knew who was next. Like, how did
Yeah.
this work? It's so weird. I don't know.
No idea. My game though, the one game that really took off like that was Tekken 3. So
Oh
Tekken
right,
3
yeah,
was the game everybody, it was at the
yeah.
mall, it was at Putt Putt, it was at every arcade. And that was the one that had the biggest crowds around it, and people were like looking at
Hmm.
this small screen. Like, if you think
Yeah.
about it, the screen is not that big.
No, at the time they
And
weren't. No.
yeah, and you're just looking, everybody's like looking like, oh, oh,
Hmm.
and but Tekken 3 was that, and Tekken 3 may not be the best arcade game ever,
Yeah.
like if you look back and compare them all, but like at the time for what it was literally the best. So that
Mm.
nostalgia, and it's the best. It is the best arcade game. I'm sure there's better ones now, but like looking back, it's known as one of the best arcades games ever. So
Yeah, it was like I didn't like Tekken as like a game because I didn't like that style of fighting, but I
okay.
was always like go and watch it because it looked so good. Like they really, like the thing back up with the arcades back in the day is like those were the places where you saw the latest graphics, the latest technology,
Hmm.
right? And like you were happy to pay your 50 cents because you were like, oh, this looks like the coolest game I could ever play. And I definitely remember like Tekken and 2 and 3 and all that just looking so phenomenal. Um, but it was like I was more of a 2D fighter. So for me, it was like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct.
Well, yeah,
But
Street
like,
Fighter was a great
yeah,
one as well.
yeah. That was
And Mortal
like
Kombat. Mortal
you.
Kombat started in the arcade, and then it
Oh
went
yeah,
onto console after that.
yeah. And you saying that like you would see Tekken everywhere you would go. Like for me, it was Street Fighter was everywhere. Like when you'd go to the Winn Dixie and Mom was shopping,
Yeah.
like I would be like, "Mom, I'm at the Street Fighter 2," and she'd be like, "You got $1. That's it." And like so, then it would like but then I would just sit there and watch other people play. Like they were the best babysitters. Your parents knew exactly where you were going to be.
Exactly.
Or it would show up in random places like oh gosh, where was some I can't oh something will come to me, but there's
At the
always
movie theater too.
the
Like you're
movie
going for
theater.
movies, but there's always an arcade
Yeah,
little cubby.
yeah, that's it. That's so true. They were everywhere. They were absolutely everywhere. Even you like even at Six Flags, like
Six Flags had
remember
a
Six
whole
Flags?
arcade area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it used
Yeah,
to
and
be
Six
good.
And Six Flags, for the listeners who don't know, it's like a big amusement park, right?
Yeah.
And like in the middle of Texas, when the middle of the Texas summer, when you're there, like that was the place you were saying, Mike, to go and get a little bit of air conditioning
You need some
and
air
like chill out for a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think, and you know, the thing about like that transition from, you were talking about, you know, some games being in the arcade first before going to the consoles. Like I vividly remember that time period of when the Super Nintendo came out, the SNES. Thank you. When the Super Nintendo came out and the Genesis and all of that, and the rumblings on the street, like at the school and the playground, and reading Electronic Gaming Monthly and all that, like when they announced that Street Fighter 2 was coming to the home consoles, I was like, what? We were like, how is this possible? Like, this is like some sort of wizardry. And then it did come out and we were like, this is incredible. So like that, like, but that was actually, I feel like in some way, those moments when like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and stuff started to come out at home was actually like when the arcade started to sort of go downhill a little bit and not be as like magical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in like the late, this sort of the mid 90s, right? Because like, why would you go play Street Fighter at the arcade when you can play it at home and not have to waste all your quarters and stuff?
Yeah.
But then games got better, right? So like there was a lot of games that you were mentioning when we were talking about, you know, getting ready for this, that like started to make the experience a lot more different. Like what are some of those games that, you know, really like stick out in your head?
Well, like Time Crisis, all of them really. Like Time Crisis 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, I think like 4 or 5 of them now.
Probably.
It was because of the mechanics. Like you had the gun. And so like not all games had a gun. I mean, yes, the NES had like the duck hunt and the gun, which was like totally cool. But this one you had the gun, but it would have like kickback on it sometimes too. I feel like, or I feel like it, or had a rumble or something when, you know, NES or SNES didn't have a rumble or anything. But and then it had that little foot pedal where you would push the foot pedal to stand up and you let go to get down, or it might have been opposite, but you would duck behind stuff and then you push the pedal and then go back down, push the pedal, come back up, boom, 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 go back down. So yeah, those were cool. House of the Dead.
Oh yeah, those were 4, so cool.
All those, it was so like just killing the zombie. And I always had the best time playing those. And it was always, I don't know, you just like, they were throwing you through like on a conveyor belt or whatever. You're just kind of like going down the lane, shooting stuff. And those were always fun to me. So those that had different mechanics at the arcade that made it seem like, oh, you won't have all this at home. Dance Dance Revolution, and then they did make it at home, but like it's not the same.
Yeah,
it's not the same. You know?
Yeah, the arcade was the place where like you would test out new technologies and see what becomes popular, and then they would popularize it by putting it in the home somehow, right? So like it almost became this like cool experimental place for interesting control concepts like you just talked about, or the dancing, or you know, really elaborate like machines, like, you know. I remember, do you
like
remember
the Jurassic Park one, like if there's a like the Jeep was like moving and stuff, and
that I played that one recently at a Dave and Buster's I went to, but it was for like, it was like kind of a Jurassic Park. I think it was like kind of a bunch of those like movies mixed up into it. So there was different like things happening, but yeah, it was definitely that, like you're sitting in the car shooting dinosaurs as you go through and raptors are jumping at you and you have to dodge the T-Rex or whatever. Did you ever see that huge Star Wars one where you were like flying around and it would like, you would sit in a like,
I know it, I have seen. I don't think I played it though.
I played it a couple times. That was one that was like $5 a play, right? That's why you only played it once. But like you actually climbed into a unit and you actually you had to strap in, and the screen was big enough that it would like, I feel like it would like tilt with you and go all around. So like as you were flying a TIE fighter or whatever thing it is, it would rotate and it would look like, you know, it would give you the sensation that you're sort of flying around with it. I mean, fucking cool, right?
I do
like,
remember that being a putt-putt. Not that game particularly, but I remember a game you would get in and it would the whole thing would move like an amusement park ride. And I think it even went like up and down. Like you would have to strap in to play it. And I do remember that, and that's so weird. And that like I don't know. And that was like nobody was there supervising how you do it. You just kind of get in.
You just got in.
I think if you
hopefully you strapped in.
Once you lock it, it's like you're locked in. You can't. I don't know how it worked.
I see. Right.
I didn't have enough. I was like, I said I could play this, or I can play Miss Pac-Man 20 times. Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, Miss Pac-Man is better than the regular Pac-Man. So much better.
100% agree. 100% agree.
She was sexy. She
was independent.
She was independent. She was Ms. Mm-hmm. She was not Mrs. So and then she had, and the little fruit, the fruit would like move around the stage. And then I remember the ghosts. What are they called in Pac-Man?
Oh, Pinky, Inky, Winky, something Clyde. Like that.
Clyde. Yeah. And I remember Clyde. Yeah, I remember the ghosts. So the AI for Miss Pac-Man, which I was reading up on, which was kind of interesting. The AI wasn't predictable. It was random, and they would do what they wanted to do.
Oh, and, cool.
Where in Pac-Man, you could memorize it. And that's how people got so good. Like you could memorize their movements.
I didn't realize that.
You knew how to go and what level and stuff. And also the mazes would change in Miss Pac-Man, where the maze would stay the same in regular Pac-Man. I mean, Pac-Man, of course, is the OG. It's the OG and everything, but Miss Pac-Man was like level up. It was.
Is Miss Pac-Man the original roguelike?
I don't know. No, I don't think that. No, I wouldn't go that far.
That doesn't count as a roguelike. She was the rogue grandma. She was like, she was.
No, I would just say the ghosts were unpredictable.
Yeah, but if the levels would change, I don't think the levels were.
No, I think there was just certain mazes where when you get to the next level, the maze would change.
Oh,
I don't think it was. I don't think it was randomly generated.
Oh, got you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm with you now. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew like. I didn't know at the time, but I do know like retrospectively that Miss Pac-Man is definitely better.
Yeah. There's different mazes. There was different, like basically different maps, and it was impossible. It was impossible to predict what the Clyde was going to do this time. So, so where in Pac-Man it was you could memorize their movements.
Yeah. What a good game though, Pac-Man. Come on.
So good.
And what an icon.
Stand the test of time as well.
Still around. Yeah, it's absolutely still around. I mean, I was at a barcade in Chicago a couple years ago, and me and my friend Jenny, like we played like the Pac-Man battle one where it's like almost like going back to old school where you were like you sat, it was almost like literally a tabletop. You sat down and you were looking at it like this, not looking up at the screen that way. And it was like a versus kind of one where you were working around this big map together or whatever. We had such a good time. We just sat there the whole time playing that with our beers and stuff. It was so cool.
Love that.
Yeah. One of the things that jumped into my mind as you were talking about House of the Dead, that was the time when like graphics were so gory. I just remembered like the way that they would like die and splurt all over the screen. And I think it was so cool that they would have the body like smack into the screen or whatever, like as part of the graphics and like ooze down and stuff. Yes. Oh, it was so wicked. I loved it. I loved it so much.
Loved it as an 8-year-old watching that TV. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Not even fazed by it either.
This is a really embarrassing story, but I'm going to tell it. So must have been 8 or 9 years. No, maybe like 9 or 10 years old, maybe. I don't know. One of my parents could probably tell you the age. We were at I think we were definitely at Putt Putt, and there was a time, I don't know if you can remember. There's still Putt Putt when you came in, you would like go down a set of stairs, and then to get into the arcade, you have to go down another set of stairs. Yeah. And then when you got down the second set of stairs at the arcade and you looked right, there was usually one that was on a huge screen. That was like the most popular game or whatever, right? So Street Fighter 2 was on that screen at the time. And I was just at the point where I was starting to get good. Like I could hang with some of the older kids. Like, I could get my Chun-Li out. She was always my go-to.
Spinning bird kick.
Oh yeah. It's so good. Yeah. With the kick. I love that. But I was really starting to figure out how to play as Ken and Ryu, right? And I can do the Dragon Punch. Like that was the hardest thing to master when I was like, yes, I'm really good at Street Fighter. I've got this now. Anyways, so I was on a winning streak and I was beating like all the, like, I was beating the big kids, like the 13 or 14, 15-year-olds. I was feeling real, and my parents were there watching me and they're like, oh, you're doing really good. He's like really good at this. I had to go to the bathroom so bad, but I was winning and I did not want to leave. I fucking peed my pants.
That's good.
And my dad was like, why did you go to the bathroom? I was like, because I was kicking their ass, Dad. And he was like, but don't pee your pants. And I was like, but I didn't want to lose my place.
Was it like when like you wouldn't start over again? It would be like challenger accepted, and you would play with the same character over and over again, right? Or something like that.
No. So if you
if you won.
If I won, so it was like a bunch of people were like coming in and versing each other, right?
Yeah, but isn't that where the term arcade mode came from? Because you would then go into the next, you would either battle the next person around the world, and then when someone pushed the button, said challenge,
they would come in, yeah. But I can't remember, but then we could like change our characters or whatever each time. But I didn't want to lose my winning streak, so
you pissed your pants.
I pissed my pants, yeah. Then, but I didn't care. And I don't remember how much longer I was there, but I was like, it was worth it.
It was worth it. That's hilarious.
Such an idiot. That's so ridiculous.
What's another one of your favorite arcade games?
You know, I was thinking about this, not necessarily from like a favorite perspective, but like almost from like a weird perspective.
Okay.
So, did you ever remember the Nintendo's Player Choice arcade cabinet? And it was
I vaguely do, yeah.
Yeah, so it was this arcade cabinet where basically,
and you get to choose. I mean, there was like 10 different games, right?
Yeah, right. Okay. And it was like this marketing tool for Nintendo where like because the NES was already out, but it was a way to get people to go like, you can play these arcade games at home. Yeah, but they basically would. It's like. It was such a brilliant idea from Nintendo. So you would like, and so it was set up where there were like 10 games, and they basically just put the cartridges. It was like having an NES in the arcade, but with like 10 different NESs. And then you could choose, I want like Mario Brothers, or I want Excite Bike, or I want Duck Hunt, or whatever. I can't remember if it had the gun or whatever. But then there was no way to beat it. And you would put your quarter in, and basically it had like an internal timer that you could only play for like, 2.5 minutes or something. So I just remember that being something I was like, I remember playing that before getting my first Nintendo. And so I think that was what really sticks out into my head, because I was like, oh my gosh, you can play these at home. This is really cool. And me being like, oh, I want this, Dad. Like, Mom, please buy this for me. And then, eventually getting it for Christmas. But I remember that sticking out as like a weird oddity or something,
No, it's so good though. Mm-hmm. That and there was also the Mario Kart. Like a racing game. I remember that was in the arcade as well at one point.
Yeah, they did a Super Nintendo version of that cabinet as well, right? So they had some Super Mario World and then Super Mario Kart and all that stuff just to get people to like, such a weird concept. Then I also loved, so I did all the fighting games. I did Killer Instinct, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all of those. But then do you remember all the beat 'em ups, like the Simpsons game?
The Simpsons. I was just about to say the Simpsons game will go down in history as one of my all-time favorite games, because
100%.
It was just and what always sucks. You can go to anywhere that still has a Simpsons game, and there's a chance that it's not working, but one of the buttons isn't working on it because it was played so much that somebody broke a button. It's like the ice cream machine at McDonald's. It's like, is it working? Like, I don't know. So the Simpsons game was so fun. Oh God, it was so
good. Who was your go-to character for that one?
I always chose either Lisa with the jump rope or Marge with the vacuum, because I don't know, I just liked playing as women. So
me too. I always like girls' characters.
I always thought Homer was boring because all he did was like fisticuffs.
Yes, swingy punch.
Yeah, swing punches and all that. But Bart was cool too because he had the skateboard and could smack him. So
and he was Bart.
He was Bart. So but yeah, I really enjoyed Marge because she had that vacuum. It just felt like that was like a huge thing, and she just is whacking people with that vacuum.
Yeah,
so good.
That was so fun to like. Just you would meet random friends and like not even like they weren't even your friends,
but like 4 people can play at one time.
4 plays, so it was such a cool thing to do. Yeah, it was such a thing because most of the time,
did that ever make it to a console?
Oh yeah, you can play it somewhere.
I want to play it.
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can. Maybe I don't know. I'm sure you can find it somehow.
Yes. I'll
But yeah, but
emulate it.
before like there wasn't a lot of 4-player games. Everything was typically a 2-player game, right?
And then
So
also
like
there was one with Marvel that's also coming out
that's
soon for Switch
a great
2.
one.
It's going
Yeah.
to be that it's basically like a nod to that arcade one because
Uh-huh.
the Marvel one was so much fun, so much
Yeah.
fun.
So good. That one where I would definitely be Storm and
Yes, always
Cyclops.
Storm.
I loved them. I love Cyclops with his like shooty eyes and stuff, and
Yeah.
Wolverine, of course. What about because Ninja Turtles were just you sort of were just
No,
a little
that I
too young.
remember that one.
Were
That was like
you?
a side
Okay.
scroller too, right? Like the beat
Yeah.
'em up, same style.
So good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
I mean
remember
that
that
like
one.
I remember that one.
I was always
'cause
Michelangelo, obviously.
I was either Raphael or Michelangelo.
Raphael had the scythes, right?
Size. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Leonardo had the stick, the staff.
No, that was Donatello.
Donatello?
Donatello
Really?
was the big
What
bow
did
staff.
Leonardo have? A sword?
The swords, the katanas.
Ah, katanas.
Yeah. And then
Katana wins.
nunchucks. So the thing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was that that really stands out to me as something I was like, oh my God, it looks just like the animated series I watch every Saturday morning with my cereal. So it was really this like thing of like going like, oh my gosh, I'm literally playing the cartoon right now. That's such good
that's
like
cool.
Yeah. And at that time, I mean, how much money did I waste? I probably could have like
so much money.
Really helped my college tuition self if I did not play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So much time was spent on that one. But that was the thing about arcades, right? They made it to where like it was just they called them quarter munchers for a reason, right? You would just literally throw your quarters in, or your tokens, right? Because remember, sometimes you had to like putt wouldn't take quarters.
You had
they
to
had
put
to take
your
those putt
because and then everything cost an odd number, so you'd always leave with like still coins. So
yes, yeah. Oh, they really. That's how they get you.
Yes.
That's how they get you. Putt.
Speaking of money, what's funny is off the arcade path, like playing games, like mobile games on your phone, like when they first got really big, like I don't know, iPhone 5, 6, whatever, and they're playing Candy Crush. I'm like, how I would justify me putting money into Candy Crush when I was really addicted to it was like, I would go to the arcade and spend $20 and I wouldn't, but I was like, this is only $1. So fine, I'm gonna buy whatever I need on Candy Crush. So that's how I would justify it. Or I would justify it by I'd be at the bar and I wanted to play that like in the picture, like find all the images, and I would put like $2 in the bar and sitting at the bar playing the little arcade thing on the bar top.
Like the little tiny little cabinets.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why?
I forgot about those.
I would put dollars and dollars into that, trying to find all the items in the picture that they're like whatever. And I'm like, I'll put $1 into Candy Crush, and then that turned into more than $1, and then I had to delete the app. So.
That's how they get you. It is, I mean, like sidebar, it really is like if you think about it, arcades as kids was just this like you don't get. I mean, the tickets are different, right? The games where you got tickets, at like least you felt like you were like an exchange. But like just the games like Street Fighter and Ninja Turtles and Simpsons, like it was literally just taking your money, and we were just like for a what, like a hit of for a bit of fun, I suppose,
and to talk about it on podcasts,
exactly
20 years later, more than that.
You're being 20, kind,
almost 30 years
than
later.
That, Oh my gosh, yeah. Did were you ever into when things like NBA Jam started becoming popular?
I don't know. I was never really into sports. The only sports games I think I liked were that golf one. I don't know. It just felt good. Like you had to roll the ball, and then it was a golf game. I don't know.
Oh, like you had no. I was trying to remember it. Like it had like what, like a trackball that you
I think so.
to
Maybe
hit the
I
club.
Could be
oh yeah,
wrong,
cool. No, you probably
was
probably
the NBA
right.
one. Did the ball catch on fire? And it was like,
yeah, he's on fire.
Yeah, okay, that one I liked because they made it fun.
Yes,
they made it fun for you to play. So yeah, I think I did like that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally like that's like the whole point is like it felt like an arcade experience. Like that's
but
why
if it's
that's
like
why
these games today that are like football games, and it's like you really look like you're really playing football.
Exactly.
It's boring to me. I'm sorry, I don't like sports. I just
because it wasn't
not exciting.
Like, the thing about like NBA Jam or NFL Blitz was like the football version of it or the American football version.
The Blitz
of it. Like,
though, the Blitz was fun because it was different.
Yeah,
the ball was on fire again or something. So.
And it was like 3 on
different.
3, and you would like do all these like tricks. And remember, like trying to get to like that perfect point on the court where they would like flip and then like dunk it and all that stuff.
See, that's
so
why.
fun.
Okay, so yeah, that one made it fun. Still wasn't my favorite one. I would rather go and play Miss Pac-Man or Simpsons or something. So.
Yeah, and then there was always like the other ones were like the claw game that was always there, right? And occasionally I would get sucked into that and be like, oh, I want to win something. I want to try to win the stuffed animal.
Is those gambling games. You put your tokens in and the coins fall and you push.
Yep.
And it would always just go like, but never fall.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Those
I don't
are
know
really
why
good.
That was so good. And this is gambling as a child. It really was.
Yeah, I don't even know if that would fly anymore. Well, that's not true because
they exist. Chuck E. Cheese has it with the coins still like falling in. I saw it.
And they still, because over here in the UK, like on like when you go to like the seaside towns, that'll be on like the piers. Like when you go down the long piers, there's always like an old like arcade kind of place where they have some stand-up video games, but have a lot of those like penny games where you drop a penny in and try to push all the stuff off, or
with that guy telling you your fortune, Zar.
Yes.
What is his name?
Zoltar or something like that. Zoltron. Yeah. That's really sweet. I love that kind of old kitschy shit. It's just so cool. I'm such a sucker for it. I know it's stupid, but I need to go in and spend a good 15 minutes. We should
Let's go to that bar because the good thing with the bar is all of them are free, right? So
no. So
in Chicago it was. I remember that.
The games are free?
Yeah, they're like there was a few games, like there was this bar called Replay in Chicago, and all the games were just free to play. They had all these bunch of arcade games.
What do you just like pay money to get in and then they're like, go for it?
No, you're just drinking at the bar and then the arcade games are just sitting there.
Oh, I didn't know if they maybe they were. I don't remember them being free though.
I don't know if you probably went to the other one in Chicago that's like downstairs and it has all these arcade games. I've been to that one.
Okay.
And then but no, and then they had pinball games, this and that.
Cool.
And we didn't even talk about pinball games. I love pinball games, especially when, and of course, the Simpsons one was really good as well.
Yeah, so good.
And then Alien Invaders or something, I think was another one. The mechanics in that pinball were kind of crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like how it even make sure every moving part was functioning correctly, So pinball was cool.
Pinball is very cool. I remember the Addams Family one being really good.
I was going to say pinball predates like arcade now because you would play that first, and then before even TVs were in the.
They arcade, go back. Basically. I mean, like probably like back. I'm making up a number here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were like back in the 30s and 40s, right? They were originally the kind of like, the original entertainment piece. Well, that's where the
with
tilt
the
comes from, right?
That.
Yeah. Because that was, I think maybe this was before the show. Tilt, like at the Parks Mall. That's what the arcade was at the mall?
Yeah. The arcade was called Tilt. So.
Yeah.
And to me, I didn't realize, but yes, the tilt, because you can, pinball machine, you could tilt it and it would be like, it would say tilt or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good thing. And, but to me, getting like, tilted was like getting upset that I'm losing or lost. I'm like, I'm raging. I'm tilting. I'm tilted.
You're tilting? Amazing. Bring that vernacular back. I'm using that from now on. That's fun,
I use it all the time.
Why are you so tilted, Mike?
No, people use it today, like in League of Legends. When he's getting tilted, or he's like,
no way. It's like a thing.
People say it like whenever they're because people are rage chatting and like talking shit to each other, and then
that's where it's
like, he's tilted now or what? Yeah. I always have like I'm always a lurker. I never really. They might say shit about me. I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
Let them win.
Do not get sucked into all the trolling on that stuff. It's not worth it because it'll get you tilted, Mike. You'll get tilted.
Don't want to get tilted.
You get tilted. I also I wonder if on tilting listeners out there, if you know the origin of tilt, that would be helpful. But I'm loving all our new ones. I don't even care anymore. But I think there's also there could also be tilting when you've actually turned all the numbers over. You've done so good. You've tilted the numbers back to 0. So it could be that you're really fucking good at the game too.
Maybe that's what it is. I just thought you don't want to tilt the machine because it can mess up some stuff.
Yeah, it puts it off balance and calibration.
Comb.
Yep.
And was it a sound bomb? Sounded boom.
that was still so cute, Mike. I love the fact that it's
I
like
thought
it's so cute.
Guile threw a comb. I thought Chung-Li, when she got her little are you
Fireball?
okay? Her little
Yeah.
fireball. I thought it was one of those things like Ryu and whoever else throws things, and what's his name? Delcine throws some fire out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I thought Guile had a comb, and it's like, pew, you need to
I mean,
style and whatnot, like whatever.
it's forever. That's forever that now.
It's forever.
Forever
It's
that.
still yeah. So.
I didn't like Guile in the arcade when I played him at Street Fighter 2. I never really picked him.
To me, it was kind of boring.
Yeah, he was boring. But then when I had it at home, I really liked him for some reason. I just thought it was like, yeah, I figured him out a bit. But like, I think you had to like hedge your bets a little bit because like most people didn't play as Guile and he was a little bit slower and stronger. Most people played as like Ken or Chun-Li or something like that. Nobody played as E Honda. Like what? Like if somebody picked E Honda, I was like, what are you doing? Yeah.
You're doing it to just cheese, to spam.
Yeah.
And then the best battle is E Honda doing this and Chung-Li doing her kick.
Yeah.
And they're not touching.
Yeah.
Just like this the whole time.
It's so
like,
funny.
Yeah, just like, okay, well, what are you guys going to do?
Or there was always that one asshole who would like pick Blanca and then just sit there and do the electricity the whole time or whatever, right? And like you couldn't
but
jump,
the only way to get
anything.
out. So if you pick Chung-Li, though, I think you can jump up and do like a foot down on him, and then it would stop it.
The stomp.
That was the only way to get out of there.
She would stomp him off the runway.
Yes. And Chung-Li jumping off of air, like where there's no wall. You're jumping off the side of the TV screen.
Yeah.
There's
such
like
a cool thing.
No wall there. I was like, okay, Chung-Li.
And that reminds me of like that time of being at the arcade. Like this was pre-internet, right? Like we couldn't just go Google shit and figure out how to do stuff.
You had your cheat codes written down.
Yes. Yeah. You would like
not cheat codes. Like, you had your moves written down.
Yeah. All the moves. There was like, I remember on some of the original Street Fighter 2 arcades, like there was something like there was some move sets for each character just because they were trying. It was a new type of game, right? Nobody had really done this before.
And it was like,
so they needed to teach people. Yeah.
Like where the controls were.
Yeah, exactly. So if like you picked Ken, they would be like, do this with this joystick and push a button. And they were teaching you how to throw a fireball, but they didn't have all the moves on there. So like you had to like hear from your friends or get taught from people. And this really kicked off when fatalities from Mortal Kombat were a thing. Gosh.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat,
everybody needed to do that. Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever played it, I was like, these look like real people because they were images of real people. And I'm just like, but like in my mind, I'm like, these are like people. These aren't drawings. These are people inside of this arcade. And my mind was blown. And granted, I was, 11, 12. But I'm like,
sure,
this is crazy. And it doesn't make sense. Like, how are these people in here? And looking back now, I'm like, this is really like poor animation. Like, these graphics aren't that great, actually. Why did I think it was so amazing? Because we're spoiled now. But
at the time, though, it was groundbreaking, right? Like nobody had ever. I mean, I think there was one game before, and please correct me if I'm wrong because I probably am, but I think there was a digitized game from Atari that was like Pit Fighter or something, where it was like it was like a sort of fake wrestling game where you would like go in and like this underground wrestling thing and just go out and like sort of try to punch people, but it wasn't as like polished. It was a little bit rough around the edges. But then, Mortal Kombat came out and really popularized that. Like,
I mean, granted, for what it was, it looked great. And still, to this day, it's fun to play still. And didn't it come out? And then, so it came out in 1991 or something. And then next year it came out in console and something like that. And it came out on Sega. I remember I had it for Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I had it for Sega Genesis, and it came out on Super Nintendo. That's the first time Mortal Kombat 1 came out.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Super Nintendo version was like totally panned because they didn't have gore in it. Nintendo was a family friendly like company then, and they didn't want violence.
We had it for Sega. I remember that.
You had it for Sega. Yeah. And you had to put the blood code in to like open up the fatalities and stuff.
Yes.
And I was a Super Nintendo kid at the time and staunch Super Nintendo. I was always
We had both.
But I was like trying to be like, yeah, but the graphics look really good on the Super Nintendo because they did, but nobody cared. I was like, you can't do fucking fatalities. Like, get it out of here.
Yeah, people want to like rip the heart out and hold it up. And
but then they got it back with Mortal Kombat 2 because if you remember when Mortal Kombat 2 came out for the Super Nintendo, that they released their policy on like violence, Nintendo, and it was the perfect translation. And that is, to this day, I think most people say that's the best one to play is on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I mean, God, just like what a time to be alive, right? Just being able to like go down to the arcade, hang out with your friends all day, be dropped off, like such good formative years. You know, you would like, because I think even at Putt Putt, like, and this is pretty much everywhere in Texas, though, you could get free refills on things, right?
Oh yeah, like
Was that the
your
was that?
Coke, like your Coke, you get unlimited.
Yeah,
It would be outside of like they just give you a cup, and then you just
right.
unlimited refills, and that's the best
Yeah,
thing. That's one thing that bugs me about Europe, and maybe it's a good thing, but there is no
it's
free
probably a good
refills
thing.
ever.
That is
I
a good
mean,
thing.
very rarely. I think they're at Costco. I went to Costco, and of course it's an American company, but
Right.
Costco had free refills in the UK, and I was surprised. So
I'm gonna say, in the grand scheme of things, having free refills is probably not a good thing. But but as a kid,
it was
like,
amazing.
you know, it was just this ultimate like hype them up on sugar, give them loads of quarters, and then it's like let them go nuts with like,
Yeah, go crazy.
I mean, it was just so good. Did you ever really putt putt when you went to putt putt though?
Very rarely. Like we
Yeah.
would putt putt. So the main reason we would go, so my dad would be in like a softball league or something,
Uh-huh.
and he would go and hit. We're going to hit balls, and my brother was in baseball. I was also in baseball, but the time frame I wasn't playing like where my brother was like playing on the high school team where I was just on like a I wasn't really playing. So he would make me hit some balls, and then afterwards,
Oh yeah, they had the batting cages.
the batting
That's
cages,
right.
yes. So he'd
Yes. Yeah.
make me hit some balls, and then afterwards he's like, "Okay, now here's $10. Go
Cool.
play." And he would continue hitting, and then I would be like, "Yay!" So
Oh, right. So he was making you do some like
a
sports
little bit
practice,
of
and then to do that,
workout
then
to
you could.
practice,
Okay, that's
yeah.
cool. Oh, that's
So,
fun. Yeah.
and then sometimes when I wasn't on a team or anything, it would just be like going with him to watch him hit softballs, and then he would give me some money,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would go play. So.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I
Really,
remember he
really
would be
cool.
sitting down sometimes. He'd be like, "Are you done yet? Like, we got to go. We're going. Hurry up!" I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. That was like leaving was always the worst, or
yeah.
the worst was actually when you didn't space your money out long enough, right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
you were like you'd like spend all your coins like so quickly, and you still had like a good like 2 hours left, and then you'd go around to all your friends and be like, "Hey dude, do you have a quarter? Do you have a quarter?" And everybody would be like, "No man, no man," or they would give you one or whatever.
Or sometimes you would go to
yeah.
machine like, "Oh, there's credits. Yes.
Yes. Oh
The
yeah.
free credits left over. That was the
That
best."
is cool. That was really cool. Yeah, that's actually like I remember there maybe something, I don't know if this was at Putt Putt or like some different arcade, but like if there would be like birthday parties there, and then they would turn them all on free play for
Yeah,
like
that would happen a
2 hours for the
lot at like the
birthday or
bowling
something.
alleys.
Is it the bowling alley?
Like the
Okay,
bowling alleys that
yes.
also had the
Yeah.
laser tag and the arcade, and it was all unlimited for the
Uh-huh.
time you were there.
Yeah. That was like the jackpot,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it
When you're
was
like,
just
oh, just like
amazing.
go, go, go. Oh my gosh, so fun.
It's like going on a
Yeah.
cruise that also has booze included. Like all you can eat and all you can drink. What?
Yeah. The original all-inclusive when we're
Yes.
kids.
And you know
Yeah.
what? I think it did have all you can eat hot dogs and all you can eat nachos and all you can drink
All you can
sodas.
drink sodas and all the take me
Good
back. Take me
times.
right back. That was such good times. Yeah.
How are we alive?
Yeah, I don't know. The amount how do I not? Yeah. Well, we're here, we made it. We're good. I think that like the other games that I really wanted to be good at, but I just wasn't. And I wanted to like them more was just because they were such good like graphical showcases. Always racing games. Like,
Oh
do you
yeah.
remember like Daytona and Cruising USA? Cruising USA wasn't
Cruising
great graphics.
USA
That was more.
yeah, I
That was
remember
more
that.
arcadey. Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah,
But I
those were
remember things
fun,
like
and I did like them. But
yeah.
and they even had like the real time shifting gear
Uh-huh.
thing.
Yeah.
See, so I like those racing games because of the mechanics and how you had to use it. But when you play on your controller, it's not the same for
No.
me. So
yeah, I know a lot of like real like dedicated racing fans will get the steering wheel. And when I was
my
at
nephew has that.
yeah, I was at a games convention. Was it
They're
last
expensive.
year? Yeah, they really are expensive, and I'm just not into racing games enough to feel like I need to do that. I don't have to get a bit of kit out, set up a table, like have it all right there. You know what I mean? But like for your VR stuff, that actually could be really cool. You know?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
very
because then you could.
immersive.
Yeah, you could do that and then have the wheel and like, oh my gosh, that would be because you could still be driving and then turn your head left and right and like check your blind spots and stuff like that.
Or I can just rent a car and go driving.
You could just rent a car and go driving.
Or I can just go in my car.
That's probably true, yeah.
Go driving around if it's a simulation game.
Yeah, I don't know. What else to say about arcades?
I don't know. I think we hit it on the head.
Yeah, I think we did.
It was just a trip down memory lane and enjoying. It makes me I do want to go to that arcade bar here in London though. We have to go. And we'll film it.
For sure. And that is really cool. Yeah, we should film it. And that's really cool. Like it's there's pretty good so what they do there is you can, order cocktails and do all that kind of stuff. And they have a bunch of free stuff set up, like, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and all those games where you can just chill and play them out. But then the Wii,
I feel like a lot of bars have Wiis. This one doesn't have a Wii.
I don't remember seeing that, but maybe I just didn't notice it. But then in the back, they have like past all the like home consoles, they have all of like the, ones we've been talking about, the stand up and play ones. And you just give them, 20 quid or whatever, and you get a bunch of coins and things like that with a free drink and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not unlimited. So that's something they could like get better at, but like it was still fun. Still a lot of good,
maybe on a Tuesday when they're not busy or something, they have a better deal or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I've got my birthday coming up in September, so I need to plan something. So actually, maybe a barcade night would be quite fun to do.
I'm gonna be out of town.
Why? I'm sorry, your invite got lost in the mail, Dick. Oh man. Okay, so do you remember the first arcade game that you played?
Did we talk about the Mighty Mouse one? No.
Other than the Mighty Mouse one.
It's probably Pac-Man. It's probably Pac-Man or Galaga.
Yeah. It was probably one of those, yeah. And I don't know if I could. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember ever like. I was just trying to think. It just sort of. Yeah, I was. Why I was thinking about like when I stopped going to the arcade, but I think that was when like PlayStation 1 came out and all that kind of stuff, and you're thinking like, well, it's just as good playing those games at home now, and I don't want to go do that. Anyways. But good times, yeah.
Yeah, the console ruined arcades. Or it didn't ruin, it's making them evolve.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. But they're still sticking around, right? I mean, there's still some, I like to see that they're coming back. If you don't know what the arcade experience is like, listeners that maybe that younger than us, go and check them out. They're super fun. Yeah, if you have thoughts on arcades, if you have played them before, if you've been to one, haven't been to one, memories, let us know in the comments. If you want to have your question read on a future episode, send us an email to gamers@outofsyncgaming.co.uk. That's gamers@outofsyncgaming.co.uk. Where can they find us on socials, Mike?
Yeah, you can find us on Out of Sync Gaming on Instagram and the TikTok, and Out of Sync Gaming on Blue Sky, and also on Twitch.
Basically, search for Out of Sync Gaming, you'll find us. Absolutely. But I guess that leaves us with nothing else to say. But until next time,
play what you want to.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.